Yesterday on Sunday, Congress says they reached a deal. Now what's in it? Will they actually get it passed in time? I've got the 5 major components of the new stimulus bill that are going to impact you. I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. As I record this right now, we are still waiting on the official text of the stimulus bill. And then, of course, once it comes out, they've got to debate it. They've got to see if everyone can quickly vote yes. At any time in this process, the whole thing could be delayed, but at least we did get the good news yesterday on Sunday that Congress says we have reached a deal. Both sides say we agree. This is the plan. Guys, this thing is $2.3 trillion. $2.3 trillion. Now, 1.4 of that actually just goes to miscellaneous government spending. So the actual stimulus part of this is over $900 billion. There are 5 major parts that are going to impact you, and I'm going to go through and explain them to you right now. First, the very first one is what I shared was added last week, and that is direct stimulus payments. Now, how much is it? $600. This is half. This is half of the $1,200 that you got in the CARES Act. It's $600, but it's still $600 for any qualifying child as well. So if you're married, then it's $600 for you, $600 for your spouse, so $1,200 total. If you're married and have 2 kids, $600, $600, $600, $600. So that's $2,400 total. So that's the amount of the direct stimulus. Who gets it? Who gets it? Once again, this is a 2020 tax credit, a 2020 tax credit that is paid in advance based on your 19 tax return, okay? So if you're a single individual in your 2019 tax return, you made less than 75 grand, you're gonna get the full amount. If you're a married couple and your 2019 tax return, you made less than $150,000, then you're gonna get the full amount. If you made more than those amounts in 2019, then the amount of your direct stimulus payment will start being ratcheted down, will start phasing out until above a certain amount, and it will be gone completely. But if in 2020, when you file your 2020 tax return, if you actually made below that limit, then you'll actually get the full stimulus as a credit on your 2020 tax return. So same thing, it's gonna work the same way as the earlier $1,200 direct stimulus as far as phase out and the fact that it's an actual 2020 tax credit. But this time it's $600 per adult as well as for a child. What they apparently did not fix, and we'll see if the original text, the actual text fixes this, but they did not fix the qualifying child issue. So this is a qualifying child is one that is younger than age 17, okay? So those college students that are dependents still are gonna be missing, you're gonna be missing a stimulus payment for them. That's my understanding, okay? We'll wait to see when the official text comes out. When will you get it? Most likely you will not get it for at least 2 weeks after they pass it. Now, Secretary Treasurer Mnuchin actually came out and said, we think checks could go out next week. That might be a touch optimistic. I would tell you 2 weeks is when they could start going out. And of course, if this thing officially is passed and there's nuances to when will you get your check and how, we'll be talking about it right here on the Wise Money Show. The second main item that you need to know about is additional unemployment benefits. The pandemic unemployment assistance back in the CARES Act was $600 a week on top of your state amount. And then President Trump signed it into executive order that it would be $300, was hoping states would kick in. Very few did, an extra $300. In the new stimulus bill, they've agreed to continue that extra $300 of pandemic unemployment assistance for your unemployment. However, they've only extended it for 11 weeks. Guys, this falls far short of my expectations. Far short. Possibly, they said, let's get something into the new year and then the new administration can solve another patch to this. But that is, as we're seeing unemployment numbers rising, a $300 extra per week on top of the state amount of pandemic unemployment assistance. I like it. I think it's going to go a long way in helping people, but just to go through mid-March, that is not long enough, in my opinion, for the folks that are hurting, especially as we're seeing unemployment increase. But the extra $300 per week will be added to unemployment for 11 weeks. That's part of the bill. The third main component is another $280-some billion of PPP funds. This is Paycheck Protection Program funds for companies, small businesses that never applied the first round, which is basically no one unless you didn't want it, but it makes available the option for a second loan. If you already received the first round, but you are still in need, you should be able to apply for this second loan. I do not have all the details. There will be tons, and we will be talking about them on an upcoming program here, because to me, the original PPP loan, in order to get it forgiven, you needed to keep your head count the same and you needed to use the money in a certain way. Well, listen, for those businesses, small businesses that would qualify for a second round, likely they have had to make some serious cuts because the PPP money officially ran out probably in August or September was about the timing. If you got round one, you had to use the money within a certain time period, and it ran out about September. Guys, this is now the end of the year. The businesses that would qualify because they are still in great financial distress, they've had to make significant adjustments to their overhead, their payroll, their head count, all of that. So it'll be very interesting to see what qualifications are actually embedded in getting a second round of PPP. At least the money is there. I just don't trust the SBA to actually create this in such a way that it's a strong rescue for these really hurting small businesses. So at least, more info to come, but at least there is $280 billion of additional PPP money. All right, the fourth big part that's going to impact you in this new stimulus bill is another month extension on eviction moratoriums. 1 month to me doesn't go long enough. It's almost like, all right, we know this is gonna expire, so let's just delay it a little bit. Maybe, again, they're trying to push it into the next administration. Hopefully the next administration can prolong things. But I mean, they're talking about potentially 20, 30 million people that this is going to impact, that when this moratorium runs out, they could be homeless, they could be facing some foreclosure measures if they haven't been able to restructure their mortgage. So at least in the rumors, the new stimulus bill that's been agreed upon is another month of extension to the moratorium, so that will get it through January. And then finally, speaking of through January, the last item that I'd mention in the new bipartisan stimulus bill is that they have extended the forbearance for student loans. Right now, student loan forbearance was supposed to last through the end of the year. President Trump again pushed it to the end of January now for forbearance. I am not seeing any details for how long they're extending the forbearance, but I've actually seen conflicting reports in some articles. Some say there was no mention of forbearance. Others say, nope, there actually is an extension to the student loan forbearance. But I'm not seeing any articles about how long that forbearance will be in place. So we'll have to wait on the additional text. So if you have student loans and you're currently in forbearance and you're not paying anything, you need to be very, very aware of this. Right now, it's extended through the end of January, and apparently there's supposed to be another extension to that forbearance in the new stimulus bill. When the official text comes out, I probably won't make another video, but when it's officially approved and we know more of the details, I'll likely be taking it chunk by chunk, and we'll be catching it here. So make sure, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you're made aware every time we drop new content. As all of this applies to you, work with your CFP to make sure you're taking the right next step in your financial life. If you don't have a CFP, you can find one on my team. Give us a call, 574-247-5898. Find us online, korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, or wisemoneyshow.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.